Welcome to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, hit the like, subscribe to this channel, and welcome to the Blah 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 podcast. Hey, chat family. How are you doing? Happy new week. Happy Monday to all of you. Hope everybody had a good weekend, a rested weekend, or you got to do the things that you needed to do this weekend. And here we are in a new week and a new topic. So, happy Monday, like I said, and we're going to get into today's topic. Today, I wanted to talk about, the choice to be a parent. And it is a choice. It is a choice to be a parent. I always say that, if you don't feel like you are mentally stable, that's a big thing. If you're not mentally stable, then make the good choices. There's lots of preventative care like birth control, um, getting a hysterectomy or a vasectomy. There's lots of things that you can do so that you don't put yourself in the position that you can't handle. And there's just some people that don't need to be parents, period. There's no way around it. And it's first, they're not mentally stable. If you know you have some mental illness that prevents you from even taking care of yourself, because that's a whole real thing. If you are not mentally stable, do not have children. Don't go and ruin another person's life because you don't have it together. Don't ruin another child's life. Don't do it. There are some people that just don't need to be parents. And I'm not trying to be mean or harsh or controlling or tell other people what to do, but there are so many people that keep pumping out these children into society. And then when something comes up where they have to be accountable or responsible or, hello, be a parent, they don't want to do that part. Don't be a parent if you're not ready to parent. And before you even make a decision to be a parent, you got to work on your own issues first. That's something that I made sure I did that. I made sure I took care of my mental health, my traumatic issues, because I know that in my childhood I got scarred. I know that for sure. And a lot of people don't want to talk about their scars. They want to sweep that under the rug and tell themselves that they're okay. Yeah, you can say that all you want to, but I always like to remember how I felt when I was a child, helpless. And don't do that to another person, another life. If you don't want the responsibilities of parenthood, then just don't be a parent. Heal your issues, work on yourself. I always say it's nothing wrong with having a season where you focus on yourself. Work on your mental health, your emotional health, and make sure that you are all the way together before you come and bring a child in this world. You don't want to bring all of the drama and the foolishness to your own child for another generation. And I do think that that brings about generational brokenness. Maybe your parents were broken and then you are broken and then you break your own child. So the cycle never ends. It will continue as long as somebody says, hey, I think I need to work on myself. I have this issue and this problem. But the majority of people out there just don't think. They just don't think about anybody other than themselves. They always want to put on this mask and pretend that they're okay, that I don't have any issues, I don't have any problems. Well, you do. It's okay. Everybody is a human being. Everybody's a human being and everybody comes to the table with certain issues. But do those issues prevent you from parenting? That's something that you have to think about before you get into the situation that you either become pregnant or you get somebody pregnant. There's nothing wrong with saying, I just don't want to have children, so I'm going to make some adjustments in my life. I'm going to make sure I stay on birth control or getting a hysterectomy or getting a vasectomy or just choosing to be celibate. You know, that's a thing too. That I'm not saying that that's what you have to do, but if you actually don't want to put yourself in the position, there's 100% accuracy when it comes to you will not make any children if you're not out there doing anything. And especially I'm thinking about the ones that keep going out there unprotected. I always wonder about like the issues of STDs and HIV, AIDS, mm, all of those things. Like, don't people think about those things? But I guess they don't. There are some people that just they lack the maturity. They lack the thinking about anybody. They don't think about anybody other than themselves until it's too late. And the next thing that they're pregnant. A lot of people they lack maturity. But if you have yourself in this situation, you may not ever have wanted to be a parent, but then when it happens to you, now it's time for you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, put on your big girl panties or your big boy drawers, and time to put in some work. Time to put in some work. Now you're a parent and do it and be a good one. Try to do different than your past. I get so tired of hearing the excuses from people and say, well, my mama did this, my daddy did this, and I didn't have a mother, I didn't have a father, I don't know how to do it. Then learn. Then learn. If you don't want to parent, you should have thought about that before. But now here we are, you're a parent. Now it's time to grow up. It's time to grow up, time to be a grown man. It's time to be a grown woman. And I get it. Sometimes you're going to have to walk this road and be a single parent. And shout out to all the single moms, shout out to all the single dads holding it down, taking care of their kids. I have much respect for them because it's not easy. It's not easy to do that, but if you want to be a good parent, you want your child to be stable and to be okay in today's society, you have to work on yourself. And yeah, maybe you didn't grow up having both parents in the home. Maybe you came from a very toxic environment. Maybe you have certain issues that you need to work on. But what's wrong with going to therapy and working on yourself? And I know that there's a big, you know, red flag or like, oh, something's wrong with you if you go to therapy. It's nothing wrong with putting yourself out there and saying, you know what? I want to be better. I want to be more mature. I want to be healthier. I want to be able to know how to do things. And that's one of the reasons why I made sure I put myself in therapy. I put myself in therapy not just for me, but for anybody in the future. Because when you work and you become improved as an adult, you improve all your relationships. You improve your friendship, your romantic relationships. You will definitely improve with your children. You improve improving your business and on the job. So when you're better, when you're okay, you are able to be better to other people and especially to a helpless child. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't. Good morning, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. If you could hit the like, I'd really appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. And that's one of the things that, I can say that, growing up in the environment I grew up in, we didn't grow up communicating. Like, I was like, what is that? I grew up like in my own world, holding things in, harboring resentment. And if you're not careful, you'll give those same things to your children. I don't want to talk about it because whether it's uncomfortable or it triggers you back to your past, but you have to change and shift things when you become a mother or you become a father. You got to shift things. It's not just about I don't know how, I don't want to, that makes me feel strange, I don't like it. It's not about what you like. It's about just being a parent and doing what is necessary to be a good one. And for me, I wanted to be a good mom. I wanted to be better. I didn't want to, be judgmental. I didn't want to be angry or bitter or complain or make a child feel that they couldn't communicate with me and talk to me because I don't communicate. So that's one thing that I can say that I know that I'm not perfect. I'm not even claiming to be, but I know for one thing for sure as a parent, I know that I try. Even if you just say that part, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. Just try to be better. If there's something from your past that you didn't like, maybe the past relationship, don't bring your baby daddy or baby mama issues to your child. Let them come to that conclusion on their own. Don't, oh, and your daddy did this or your mama did this, and all women are this way or all men. You're shaping and molding a child's future. Be careful what you put out your mouth, you know? But I am definitely a person that I know that I grew into something really good when I put myself into therapy. And you talk to your children, tell them the good, the bad, the ugly, the everything about what you went through, and tell them about your experiences. I don't want you to do this and this like me because I didn't get talked to about certain things, especially when it came to sexuality, when it came to protecting yourself from predators, good touch and bad touch. I didn't have those conversations. I didn't, have those conversations. I didn't have that communication level. There was no trust like that between me and my parents back in the day. You just didn't talk about those things. And it's not one of those things that you can say like, oh, this conversation makes me feel uncomfortable, or I don't know what to say. That's not good enough. Look it up, learn, get a book, but don't just avoid parenting or just leave your kids to the streets, because I'm so sick of seeing that, working in social work and seeing kids just they're left at home by themselves. And I get it, parents. You got to work and you have things that you have to do, but you can't just leave your kids at home by themselves to do whatever, because kids are going to go hang out or they're going to do something at home like using the stove or plugging in an appliance may start a fire or harm themselves, or God forbid something happens to them in the middle of the night and they have a medical emergency. You gotta have to think, and even like leaving out a firearm or alcohol. You don't know what children will get into, and you just think, oh, they don't know I have this hidden. Listen, kids will search and find things, and make sure you talk to them about gun safety if you're going to have a firearm. Even show them how to use it. Don't have things in your home and don't protect them, and show them how to use that said firearm. You know, it's always better to err on the side of caution and give children the knowledge than to just do nothing, and don't think that kids are stupid and they don't know anything. Now there's technology, there's the internet, there's phones, and I know for me, one thing is for sure, I definitely don't want my children to find out from their little knucklehead friends who don't know anything themselves. Talk to your children about everything. Like nothing is off the table. Talk to them about every single thing maybe that you didn't get when you were younger. The awareness should be there. The protection should be there. We should be talking to our children about not just stranger danger, because stranger danger, like I remember when I was younger back in the day, it used to be like a stranger was somebody you didn't know, and they wore black and they were, no, a stranger is not just somebody you don't know. That person who brings the most hurt and harm to your child is usually somebody they know, like the ones that SM and SA and do all kinds of things to your children are not a stranger. They're teachers and counselors. They're their own relatives, even sometimes sibling or other parent. You got to have those conversations. Nobody should be touching your private areas. Nobody should be doing X, Y, and Z. Nobody should be making you feel uncomfortable. And if you don't like it, say no and tell me, even if they tell you not to. You got to protect and arm your children because it's vicious out there. And there are predators waiting to prey on our children. And like, I have to say that. And I'm not saying it to feel like, oh, I want things to happen to children, but you have to arm your children. You have to make them be aware so that when something like makes them feel strange or weird, they won't feel uncomfortable and try to hide it to themselves to feel like they did something wrong and blame themselves. Because I know all about that. I blamed myself when certain things happened to me in my childhood because I didn't gain the knowledge. I wasn't told about the stranger danger, and if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, and good touch and bad touch, and nobody should be in your personal space, and you need to have certain conversations. I didn't feel that way because I feared, because I was uncomfortable, because it made me feel weird or strange. I felt embarrassed. And your children should never feel embarrassed to talk to you about anything. Anything. Everything should always be on the table, you know. And I hate to say that some people should never be parents. We have to grow up, to all the ladies, all the gentlemen, grow up, get yourself together. Make sure you got your money on point, that you can take care of a child. It's not anybody else's responsibility but yours to parent your children. Remember, they're your kids. And I know that everybody runs into hard times. Things are expensive now. I get it. Formula, milk, diapers, daycare. I understand. I get all of those things. But if you know that you are not in a position to handle that, then prevent it. Prevent it and just don't have any. It's simple, just like that. But to those who have them, it's nobody else's job to take care of your kids, you know? Nobody else's job. Take care of your kids. Talk to them. Protect them. And by the way, mothers and fathers, hug your children. Tell them you love them. Don't let them go out in this world trying to look for love in the streets, look for love from a relationship. They should have that at home. To all you moms, hug your little boys and your little boys. Hug your little boys and little girls. I'm so sick of people saying, oh, don't let boys be soft. No, they need to know about empathy and compassion, and know how to express themselves and communicate. Don't scar these young boys. Don't scar these little girls into thinking certain roles, or that makes them soft or that makes them weak. No, let's eliminate that toxicity. We need to stop that narrative. We need to just stop that all in general. Raise your children with love, with awareness, protection, with teach them self-respect, teach them to love themselves. And if you don't have those tools from within, and you're not willing to train a child, to teach them, to love them, to hug them, to kiss them, to tell them that they can do anything that they want to do, then don't have them. Leave that to somebody else then. You've tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, hit the like, subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell. Remember, we got to have the real talk and the real conversations. We do these podcasts Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're welcome to like, to share, to subscribe. and check out for past podcasts and videos. I really would appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to my mods, to my channel members. I'm thinking about my other channel. Shout out to my mods and to all my subscribers. Chat family, do your best as a parent or make a decision not to be one. I will see you on the next one.